Modern Mahjong's here with our Talk of the Tiles for Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're talking about game time. Many players are often curious how fast they, quote, should be playing and how long a typical game lasts. There's not one specific pace for home games. Players can get a feel for how their group expects the pace of the game to feel. The pace of the game and length of each game depends on so many factors. If your group is new, games will take longer than experienced players as everyone is getting more comfortable with the rules and the card and building their hand. Experienced players usually finish games in around 12 to 15 minutes. It could be more or less depending on how much talking's going on, whether it's the new card and everyone's learning the hands. For tournament play, usually it's 4 rounds of games and they have 50 minutes to finish the games. While the Charleston and picking and discarding is fast during tournament play, the men and women at the tournaments are building the walls very quickly. So that takes off time from how long the whole game takes. Picking up speed. One member in our Facebook group Mahjong community had asked us, I'm the newest member of the group. They're very patient, but I could tell they want to play faster. What could I do? One thing most teachers agree on is it is crucial to know the rules and learn the card. You don't need to memorize all the hands, but you should clearly understand what the headers mean and understand how the sections work. So the next question would be, how does knowing the card help me speed up my game? Knowing the card helps you know what tiles can help your hand or not, or help your section or not. It also helps you figure out what hands might be being played and what tiles might be hot, which are needed by other players. Defensive play comes with time, so first focus on building your hand if you're a new player. As you improve, then focus on recognizing what other players might be playing and what tiles they might need. So, are there any takeaways? What advice can you share with a slower player and help them keep the pace? Mahjong's a looking and listening game. When it's not your turn, you still need to be paying attention. You need to listen and look what's being discarded. However, this is also the time for a slower player, or all players actually, but to be planning on what they're going to discard before it's their turn. Unless a player is set for the win, they only need one tile. They should know what tiles don't work with the section or hand they're playing, and they should be ready to discard after picking and racking their tile. There doesn't need to be a whole thought process. If you know that you're doing a certain section and you have tiles that don't help at all, you pick, you put the tile down in the rack, in the sloping part. Don't rearrange where it fits in, just put it down and then discard a tile. When it's not your turn, then you could take the time to rearrange. On that note, it's not a rule that a player must rack their pick. They could pick and rack, they could pick and discard. They could pick and call Mahjong, they can pick and do a joker exchange. But what they shouldn't do is pick and just wave that tile in the air. If a player doesn't rack and doesn't otherwise close the window to call that previous discard, it's still available. So, one of the ways to close that window is racking. The others are fully naming it, placing the discard on the table, initiating joker exchange, or calling Mahjong. So, if those aren't done and the player picks a tile and is just holding it in the air, that keeps that window of opportunity open for the other players to have more time to call the last discard. So, you might be wondering what could help a player increase the speed of their decision making. During the Charleston, it helps to just aim for a section, not a specific hand. You're getting even tiles, you're in 2468, or depending on the year, maybe 2026 next year. You're getting odd tiles, you're in 13579. You're getting low numbers that are near each other, that could be consecutive. Just aim for a section. Then, once the game starts, keep discarding and getting rid of the tiles that just don't help in any of the sections or hands you're considering. When it isn't your turn, plan ahead. By doing this, then you're not going to give any clues as to saying wait or hold or pause and then changing your mind. The less information you give to other players, the better it is for your hand. We hope that these gave you some tips on how to increase your speed. Now we're going to go over a hand of the day. And we're going to do this a little differently since we've been trying to keep track of all the hands we're going over. And we've been doing these daily talks for a month or so now. And it really has been a intense process of making sure we're covering all the different hands. So we're going to start on the top left and work our way through the card. The reason we're doing this is sometimes our eyes could play trick on us. You see a hand, you see it written on the card, but then when you're playing, you just don't even notice it. It just kind of disappears. So we thought that focusing on one hand each day will be a great reminder. Let's start on the very top left with the top 2025 hand. It's a Kong of Flowers, four singles to make the year 2025, and then three twos and three twos in the other two suits, or three fives and three fives in the other two suits. And as a reminder, the color on the card does not dictate what suit you need to use. So that 2025 could be bams, cracks, or dots, and the pungs of twos or fives could be any the other two suits. And note, in the first written hand, it shows two pungs of twos, and then another example of how it could be made, it shows two pungs of fives. You cannot mix that up. If you use twos for that first pung, the other must be twos. If you use five, the other must be five. If you enjoy learning the card, preparing to pivot, improving your game, we're adding another session. It's going to be the same if you haven't been able to make them yet. This is not a new session. So if you haven't been able to make one of our card reviews yet, we invite you to check out our review on June 5th. You could register, it's $36 and space is limited. If you haven't learned to play yet and you're thinking that sounds really interesting, or you know family and friends that want to learn, we're doing a four-part series starting June 23rd, and you'll be ready to play by July 4th weekend. You could register on our website. For those of you living in New York or visiting New York, on June 15th, 2025, Donna and I are going to be at the Egg Rolls, Egg Creams, and Empanada Street Festival in the Lower East Side. We hope you could join us. We're going to be demonstrating Mahjong, and there's going to be all different activities and food vendors, and we hope you can come and have a great day. Our PDF of 95 pages of learning the card, strategy, backup hands, and all this information is available on our website, modernmahjong.com. If you're looking to learn Canasta, there's a improve your game, three-part intermediate series that Donna Miller Small and I are doing June 3rd, June 10th, and June 17th. You could register on My Jewish Learning, and if you have any questions, send an email to modernamericancanasta@gmail.com. And we are excited about our October 11th and 12th Canasta Convention taking place at the Honors Bridge Club in New York City. If you have any ideas for our daily talk of the tiles, we've been doing these for a while, and it's amazing that there's something new to talk about every day. But if you have ideas that would help us think of things, send us an email, let us know. And if you enjoyed this video and you've learned something, we hope you like, comment, save, and share. We talk about all different topics of Mahjong, and we thought that this would be a great way to reach everyone, get their start of their day, thinking about the game, and helping them play with confidence. With that, we hope you have a great day and a great game.